Hey there drone fans, Rick here again from Drone Valley. In today's video, I'd like to show you a brand new accessory that we've been testing for the last couple of weeks for the DJI Air 3 drone. It's a landing gear kit that snaps on the bottom of the drone and provides a little extra clearance for takeoff and landing to help protect your camera, the sensitive gimbal assembly, and all the really important sensors on the bottom part of the drone. Now, ever since these folding drones were introduced, going way back to the days of the Mavic Pro, I've always worried about the clearance they provide because if you look how close this is to the ground, if I try to land this in grass, especially if it's wet, or on dirt that's a little bit soft, it's going to sink down in the dirt, or even landing it in a parking lot, the downwash from the props when I'm taking off and landing is going to kick up all the sand and debris that's in that parking lot, and it's going to get up in the gimbal, it's going to get on the camera, it could get on the sensors, and it's really not DJI's fault because when you're designing a drone like this, on the one hand, you want it to be as small and portable as possible when it's folded up to make it easy to take along and slip into a backpack. But unfold it, there's not a lot of opportunity to add long legs in the front, and really this has no legs in the back. So when you look at the clearance of this, the back part of that bottom is right up against the ground. I mean, there's a 1/4 of an inch of clearance, but again, if there's anything underneath it, even really short grass, it's going to touch the bottom of the drone. And what's down there? Well, I've got 2 optical sensors, and I've got a VIO sensor. So if these get covered with dirt and debris, you're going to have problems, especially with the VIO, because that helps the drone determine how far off the ground it is when it's close to the ground. These two help with precision landing and crash avoidance. So it's really important that you keep that as far away from any kind of hazard as possible, and that's exactly what these are built to do. So these snap on the bottom of the drone, and they add a little extra height. Now, I know you're probably already thinking, Rick, I don't need them because I use a mat. Well, to be honest with you, I've tested this a lot, and if you put that mat down on any kind of soft surface, if it's grass or it's dirt, the weight of this pushes down on the mat so much that when you turn it on and it goes through power on self-test, probably 4 out of 5 times, because that gimbal's moving around and checking all the extents that it can move to, it's going to rub against that mat and it's going to cause a failure. So having this on, even landing on a mat, gives you a little extra height to not have to worry about that. And you may be one of those flyers that likes to hand launch and hand catch and thinks, I don't need this either. Well, how many times have you hand launched a drone, especially with one like this that can fly for 40 plus minutes, and all of a sudden the wind kicks up, right? Then you've got to come back and you're trying to grab this flying Cuisinart up in the sky, and you'd rather just land the thing. Well, if you have this on it, you can actually land it anywhere you need to land it. You can land it in the grass, land it in the parking lot, and you'll have less danger of damaging the camera and the gimbal. So I like these an awful lot. We've tested a ton of different landing gear over the years, pretty much for every folding drone out there. We've tested landing gear for, and anytime a new drone comes out, we go to all the manufacturers we work with and say, look, send us your landing gear. We want to test them first because I think that's one of the most important accessories you can buy for the drone. And we've tested, I think at this point, about 14 different styles of landing gear. Some of those styles have dual skis on either side. We didn't like those a lot because that's only 2 points of contact with the ground. So if you land those on an uneven surface, the drone's going to lean to one side and you get our problems with the props. The reason I like these so much is, number one, they're simple to install. There's no complicated installation process. They match the color of the drone. That's a small point, but I like that. But they give you 4 points of contact right here. They're like spider legs that stick out from the sides of the drone to give you a really secure landing. And if one of these is a little higher than the other, you still have 3 that are touching the ground. So it's giving you a really secure landing. We tested a couple of others as well. There's one that we tested that seemed to work okay. My problem with it, and I know the team liked it better than I did, but one of the problems I had with it was that it had a strap that went around the top of the drone, and I don't want to really sit there and try to do this Rube Goldberg setup where I'm strapping things in. I want it on quickly, I want it off quickly when I'm done flying, and that's exactly what these do. So to use this product, it couldn't be easier. On the front of it, there's a little hook right here, right there, that fits around this lip on the bottom, and then it just hangs there, and you push it up against the body. You'll hear it click. Hear it click in place, and that's it. And you'll notice there are cutouts, so both sensors can see what's going on. The VIO sensor's open. The bottom light is open. So it's built specifically to fit the drone. And when it's on the drone, look at how the drone sits now. It's perfectly level. Whereas before it's sort of canting back. This brings the bottom of that drone up off the ground, so it's not like it's going to raise it 12 inches. It only raises it 36 millimeters, which is about 1.5 inches if I'm doing the math in my head. But that's enough for me to get it up off the ground and further away from all the dangers that it's going to land on. So it's a really easy product to use. And again, when you're done flying for the day, you just pop one of the sides like this. It pops off the drone. You can put it back in your pack. The cool thing too is that these feet are ratcheted closed, so you can actually set them up a couple of different positions. Now, I open them all the way up, but look how small that is when it's folded up. You can slide it in your bag. You're not going to take up a lot of room. A lot of them, again, didn't fold, like some of the ski models, and you've got this giant thing you've got to find a place for in your bag. So I like that I can fold these up, put them away, and not have any issues. And there's two different models, and I know this seems like a small thing, but there's the gray model, which matches the color of the drone. There's a gray and orange model, which matches the color of the drone, and curiously, the color of the propellers too. So you've got the orange to match the orange in the propeller. So if you want to jazz things up a little bit, maybe you go with this one. I like the gray one. I'm a pretty simple guy, so for me that just works. But essentially what this does, again, it's not going to protect you from every hazard, but snapping this on the drone just gives you that little extra peace of mind that when you're flying the drone, when you're landing the drone or taking off, it takes you that much further away from the hazards that, again, can cause problems with the expensive camera, the sensitive gimbal, or more importantly, those sensors underneath. Because, again, these VIO sensors are the only thing that tells the drone how far it is away from the ground when you're under 15 or 20 feet. If those get covered up with dirt, who knows what's going to happen? Maybe the drone will come down a little faster than it should. So, you know, again, you want to be as safe as possible out there in the field. And we've tested, like I mentioned, I think at this point it's like 16 different models. These are the ones we settled with because we've been flying with these for the last month or so, and I've had it on the drone every time I take off and land, and it's really just given me that peace of mind knowing that all the important things are a little further away from the ground, so I've got a lot more flexibility of where I land and take off from. So that's pretty much it for today. If you're interested in these, we like them so much. I mean, anytime we find an accessory that works for us, we want to make sure you guys get access to it because there's a lot of companies out there that sell things that look similar, that don't work as well. So we brought these in. We've got them available on our website. We've got them available on Amazon. We stand behind every product we sell, so if you ever have trouble with it, we'll be here to take care of you. But I like them. They're reasonably priced. They're really easy to use, and they just do a job. So it's a simple product to use. And that's pretty much all I had for today. So if you want to support the channel, check down below. I've got a couple of links where you can look these up on the website or on Amazon. If you want to purchase them through those links, that would be great, and you'd help support the channel. So thanks again for watching. I've got a ton more clips coming for the Air 3 and a bunch of other high-tech gear coming. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, what are you waiting for? Hit that little icon down there and join the Drone Valley family because it's going to be a cool place this winter. There's a lot of cool technology coming, and you want to be here to find out about all the releases that are coming up. So thanks again for watching. I've really enjoyed talking about this, and I love talking about drones and other high-tech gear. So until next time, as always, happy flying.